key and try it again. So let's try
look,
this.
okay. So it says live on custom streaming service.
Are we live? I think we're live.
Yay! Okay, let me refresh Facebook and make sure we got it. Come on, Facebook.
I think we're here. Okay.
Yay!
Okay, thank you guys for bearing with us. And we are now live with you. Thank you guys for joining us on our Facebook community, as well as those of you who are watching on the replay, or if you're watching this on the YouTube. Welcome to you tonight.
Hey, Sherry Mayo. I see her waving.
Oh, awesome. Hello, Sherry. Good to see you on here tonight. So those of you who've been joining us regularly, you know Jennifer Maynard and myself, Amy Miller. If you are new to our Sunday Night Live panel discussion, comment below, say newbie. We'd love to welcome you tonight. And we have a hot topic tonight. Do we not, Jennifer?
My favorite.
Yay! Okay, we're going to be talking tonight about how to stop that negative tape that is running around in your head, maybe even right this minute. You know the one. You know the one that runs and
all the time
repeats the things over and over that you really don't want to hear, but you've begun to believe it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about that tonight, and we have a gift for those of you who have tuned in with us just at the beginning. Actually, two gifts. Two gifts. So those of you who follow us on 3 Life Essentials, or maybe we're friends on Facebook, you probably have seen that one of our twins who just turned 6, the day after he turned 6, he broke his arm. Poor guy, he total champ about it though. And interestingly enough, my husband also broke his arm at age 6, same arm. So, but after he got his splint, I cooked up a bone fix mix for him. And it was funny because he asked Jim, Daddy, is this what your mom put on you when you got your arm broken? And he said, no, we did not have oils then. So no, my mom did not put this on me. But many of you have been asking, what is this bone fix mix? How do I get it? Where is it? Okay, so first of all, it came from this book, The Essential Life. If you have the most current edition of it, you can find the bone fix mix in the skeletal section.
And Essential Life book is, like, in my opinion, the best oil reference book. So if you're thinking, yes, you need a book, that would be my choice for you.
This is on your oil wish list, yes, your oil accessory wish list. Yes. Okay, so for those of you who do have this book, it's on page 329 in the skeletal section of that book. It's called the Bone Fix Mix. And Jennifer, if you don't mind just kind of copying some of these, the ingredients in here for people in the comments, but it is 7 drops frankincense, and then 6 drops of white fir. Now, many of you who've had your oils for quite some time, if you had doTERRA for a while, you probably have white fir. If not, you cannot get it. So don't go looking for it in your shopping website. A good substitute for that would probably be Siberian fir. When doTERRA was no longer able to sustainably continue to source white fir, they started supplying Siberian fir. So it has many of the same chemical properties. So you're going to do 7 drops frankincense, 6 drops white fir, 2 drops wintergreen. That's going to help with the pain also associated with that. And then the fir oil, of course, is very helpful to this, specifically the bone. Of course, the frankincense helps with the inflammation aspect. 11 drops of helichrysum. You guys, this is excellent for tissue repair.
Helichrysum.
Yes. Yes, and then 4 drops of lemongrass. Great for any kind of repair in the tissue, and also with pain too. So you're going to combine those oils in a 10 milliliter roller bottle. Fill the rest up with carrier oil, and you want to apply on or near the affected area at first very frequently, like every 2 hours if you can. And then after that, do it like every 4 hours. You can kind of back it off. Now, in our case with the arm, we aren't able to, his arm is splinted from a little above the elbow all the way to the pinky. So we aren't able to apply the oils directly to that unless he's like showering or something. But do you guys know how the body works? The sympathetic nervous system. We can actually apply oils to his non-affected arm, and it will impact his affected arm.
Oh,
isn't that amazing how God works that out?
That's awesome.
And you guys, I've heard from other oily people who have used this mix before that they've been able to get casts off earlier than they thought. It just helped with the healing process. So I hope that's a benefit to you. Our gift from us to you tonight. Hopefully you do not need this mix, but if you do, it is available to you. The second gift we have for you tonight is on our topic tonight. And this is a website that you're going to want to have. In fact, I'll just copy and see if I can copy and paste it here. It's a website. Actually, Jennifer, are you able to copy and paste it in the comments, and then I'll share the screen?
Yes.
Okay. This website is called armedwithtruth.com. Arm, like arm, like armedwithtruth.com. And you guys, these are the coolest temporary. Oh, where's my? I lost my little.
Sherry, you and I are totally doing this.
What'd you say?
I said to Sherry that we are totally doing this.
Oh yes, totally. Okay. I'm totally losing my stuff here. I've got too many tabs open here.
You always have too many tabs open. I have one tab.
Where's my tab? Here it is. Oh, when our broadcast didn't work, it pulled up another tab in front of it. Okay. Armedwithtruth.com. And these are, you guys, these are temporary tattoos that you can put on. Doesn't have to go on your arms, but a great place to put them is like on the inside of your forearm. These are Bible verses, truths of what God says about you. There's even some cool designer tattoos. And I even put on my speakers blend tonight. And so we're going to be talking more about affirmations and truths about what needs to be planted into our minds to change our brains. And so go to this website. If you type in welcome 15, I think you get a 10% discount on your order. And of course, they have free shipping with orders over $25 in the US. So that is another really cool gift to you that you're going to have. So if you join us later, you're going to make sure you want to go back to the beginning so you catch all this. So, all right. So let's ask you guys, when it comes to that negative tape that's running in your head, what do you most want to know? What is it you want to know? Comment below with what you want to know. Even if you're watching this on the replay, comment below. Where does all this stuff come from, right? Where does this negative tape even come from? Why does it hold such power over me? Or is it, how do I make it stop? Or what oils can I use? What tools can I use? Just comment below. What are you most wanting to know about that when it comes to this negative tape that's running through your head?
So, Amy, it looks like I went back and took a look at the Essential Life Tribe page and the survey where you put it up there. So the number one now is, how do I make it stop? Followed by, does my brain come with an off switch? And Why does it hold such power? Where does it come from? And what oils can I use are all kind of in third at the moment.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna address those tonight, because you know that's what Sunday Night Lives are all about, is about your most requested topics and answering your questions. So you know, let's dive into this. Actually, let's start putting in the comments what's the negative tape that's playing in your head. What is that one saying? Jennifer, what is yours typically saying? I know you have less of the negative tape now than you did before, right?
Right, because I've been working on this like a crazy person. But mine would say that I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't worthy of doing the things that God had for me, that I was not going to succeed, that nobody was interested in my story. I mean, like it could go on and on and on.
Yeah, yeah. I know mine has been, I don't have time. I don't know enough. I know mine has been, I don't know enough, or don't have the same skills as that person or this person. So how could I do anything that's worthwhile? So I want to hear what are some of yours saying? Whether you're live with us or now or watching on the replay, what is that negative tape playing? Sherry, you said not deserving. Yeah. Bill, you said you have nothing negative yet. Well, that is a miracle.
Bill's a happy kind of guy.
That most people have some kind of negative tape running in their minds at some point. And so where does this even come from? I don't know, Jennifer, what have you discovered as you've been learning about this? Where does it come from?
Well, so I will tell you guys, so I, over the last several years, I've done so much work in this area, and it was because I started to realize that really I just wasn't happy or comfortable in my own skin. And it has been really, I would say, a pretty intensive 2-year process for me. What I found in my experience was a couple of things, and it was really interesting to me. A lot of where I struggled, a lot of my not feeling worthy, of feeling like I was full of shame, came from things that happened in my childhood. That, you know, the way I interpreted situations, or the way I felt when someone said something to me, or things like that. But the other thing that was so interesting to me is that I actually started learning about how it can be passed on generation by generation. And so in my circumstances, I was finding that some of what was passed on to me was passed on by my parents and my grandparents. And that, here's the thing, you know, we don't realize how negative we are in our heads. If you guys just for a day just were conscious of how many times you think something negative about yourself, it would be overwhelming. And I think, Amy, you're probably going to talk a little bit more about that later. But yeah, in my case, it stemmed from things in my childhood that literally created the thought patterns that have affected me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, so you talked about some kind of negative past event, whether it's been a mistake or a failure, or maybe even an embarrassing event. I know that in my own life, there could be a generational root, like you mentioned. My family has passed on this kind of critical spirit. Anybody else resonate with that at all? Maybe most critical for yourself, but critical just of everything around you, everyone around you. And that's really where mine stemmed from. But can even be from things that other people have said to you in your past that you began to believe. And I know just this week, this came up for for Jim, my husband, when our son broke his arm, and it kind of brought up conversations about when my husband also broke his arm. And he said, you know, pretty much my whole life I've thought I can't ride a skateboard. And he said, I couldn't figure out where that came from. Where did that negative tape come from? I'm not able to ride a skateboard. I can't. And he said, I realized that I remembered, well, I could ride a skateboard at some point. That's how I broke my arm, he said. And so, but he realized that that negative event caused him to begin to think, well, I can't ride a skateboard. I just can't. And so it can be some kinds, just the simplest incidences that can really just begin us on this negative role.
Absolutely.
So we talked about why, you guys mentioned, why does it have such power over me? I know that I was thinking this the first time I ever thought even about this negative tape, or I guess I had already been thinking about it because I already knew that I had what I call this critical spirit about me, and honestly a sin nature about me, and I knew that I wanted to get rid of it. But it wasn't until I found myself, Jim and I were in marital counseling, and we were talking about this topic, and the counselor said something to me that I will never forget. She said, how are you? Or she said, what are you doing about it? And I said, I don't know how to get rid of it. I'm trying to get rid of it. And she said, what are you replacing it with? And I'd never had anybody ask me that. And I said, I don't know. I'm nothing. I'm just trying to get rid of it. Does anybody else resonate with that at all? Because comment below if that's something that, you know, it's got this power over you. And she said, if you don't have something to replace it with, it's just going to continue to remain. It's going to constantly be an issue. And so that was kind of my first instance in thinking about why it has such power over me. But another reason it has such power over us is something I discovered in this book, Switch on Your Brain by Dr. Caroline Leaf. Now, this author caught my eye first because she is, her background is in communication. Well, she calls herself a communication pathologist and audiologist. She's from South Africa, but it's the same as a speech language pathologist, which is what my background is in. And I saw she had done a lot of research with the brain. So it really intrigued me. But so she has a lot of science in this book, but also a lot of great truths from honestly our ultimate authority book, the Bible. And she talks about your mind is the most powerful thing in the universe after God. Have you guys ever thought about that? This is why it has such power over us.
It's so true.
Yes. It says, your mind has one foot in the door of the spirit and one foot in the door of the body. You can change your brain with your mind and essentially renew your mind. You guys, this comes straight from Romans 12:2 in the Bible. And so why does it have such power over us? Because our mind changes our brain. Scientifically changes the way our brain is chemically and the synapses and the connections. And it typically is the loudest voice that we hear. And we repeat it over and over and over until we believe these things. So that's why it has such power over us.
Literally thousands of times a day.
Yeah. And all of this seems like bummer news, doesn't it? But we have hope. We're hope givers, right, Jennifer?
Yes.
We're hope givers.
Yes, we are.
And we both believe that someone's on here tonight that really needs this. And so, or who is not on here tonight, but you need to share this with them. So if this is resonating with you or somebody is coming to your mind, I want you to click the share button right now. Even if you're watching this on the recording, click the share button, share this with a friend or a family member that needs this. Share this with them. If you're finding this of value, share this with them. Because now we're going to talk about how do we make this stop? How do we make this stop? Jennifer, you want to start us out with that?
Sure. Okay, so it's a topic. What?
Hold on, I hate to interrupt you. If you want to know more about this book, there's actually a workbook that goes with it. So if you want to know more about this book, or actually considering doing a book study on this sometime coming up soon, I'm not really sure, then type in the comments below, switch on your brain, and I'll know that you want to know more about this, and we'll keep you updated, okay? Okay, sorry, Jennifer.
No worries, no worries. Okay, so this is a topic that I am super passionate about, because these are the things that I've done that have really made a huge change for me. So Amy touched on affirmations. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. But some of the other things, using the essential oils. And I think one thing, especially because I know we've got a few people that are fairly new to oils on here tonight. So one thing that's really good to know is that all of our oils have physical components, but also emotional components. Okay, so they double duty for us. And so we're going to talk to you a little bit about maybe some of those oils here in a minute. But let's kind of go back to affirmations and kind of build from there. So Amy was talking about how we need to change that negative tape that's playing in our head. For me, that tape was playing loud and hard and constant. I did not feel worthy of success. And it was about 2 years ago, you know, and I mean, I've been through stuff in my life, but you know what? So has everybody. And so I was at a point though where I knew that I needed to hear myself saying good things to myself, or I needed to be replacing that stuff. It was kind of like you talked about, Amy. And I found this app, and it's called Think Up. I literally think up. Okay. And it looks like, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it, but there's a little orange and white right there. It's that orange and white. Okay.
Yes, and orange with, isn't the white like a leaf or
orange
something?
Like a white plant leaf kind of thing. Yeah. And so it's called Think Up. And here's what I love about this app is that when you put it on your phone, you have the ability to go in and create custom affirmations. And you may not be ready to do that at this point. You may be going, what the heck is an affirmation? But so they have affirmations in there that you literally can add. And the beautiful thing is that you record it in your own voice. It's not somebody else saying it to you. And you guys, there is so much power in hearing your voice say, I'm amazing. I can do anything I set my mind to. And what I love about it is that you can have music playing in the background. So you guys, 2 years ago, I was at such a point in my life where this played all night long on a loop, because if I woke up in the middle of the night, I needed to hear myself saying good things to myself. That's where I was 2 years ago. Okay. And so Think Up made a huge difference for me. Then once I started realizing, hey, affirmations are pretty awesome. They're helping me to feel a little bit better. I was trying to figure out how I could really take it to the next level. And that was when I remembered that I'd seen some people talking about reading the book, The Miracle Morning. And it was a perfect scenario of being the right time for me to read that book and really taking it. So Miracle Morning is written by a guy named Hal Elrod. Hal has almost died twice in his life. The first time he was about 18, 19, 20 years old. And almost died in a car accident, had a traumatic brain injury, broke like 12 bones in his body. And he created the Miracle Morning as a routine that was going to help him when the doctor said that he would never walk again. The idea is the way that you start your day sets the tone for the rest of your day. And so he chose to do this Miracle Morning routine. And his routine was made up of 6 different things, and it's called the Savers. So, and it's an acronym. So silence is the first one, which could be meditation, could be prayer time, whatever that would look like for you. The next one is affirmations, then visualization. And that's where you visualize how you want your day to go. All the good things that you want to see happen that day. You see yourself doing these really great things, not focusing on the negative, okay? Exercise. An exercise could be a quick walk around the block. It could be go do 20 jumping jacks. It could be whatever you want it to be, right? But the idea that you get your body moving helps to change that physiology in your body, where your brain all of a sudden now is going, hey, you know what? I really can go do this. Because look at me, I got up and I went for a walk, or I did my jumping jacks, or whatever it is, right? So you do the exercise, then you read. Could be reading the Bible, could be reading a personal help book, could be reading whatever it is that you want to read. And then the last one is scribing or journaling. He says journaling didn't work because then it wouldn't have been saver, so we had to make it scribing. But so you just journal about how you're feeling, what you're learning about yourself, and that type of thing. And you guys, when I started doing that, the change in me was pretty amazing, right, Amy? Like you knew me before and you knew me after. So it was amazing to me, because the affirmations that I was saying were talking about how I wasn't going to judge anybody else, how I was going to love all people because we all deserve to be loved. And it's not my place to judge them, because I have no way of knowing that had I lived another person's life, I might not act the exact same way that they did. That is actually a direct quote from the affirmation. And that had such a huge impact in my life, because you guys, when you are thinking about other people and loving other people, you can't be down in the dumps about yourself. You just can't. It's not possible. So if you guys are interested in knowing more about the Miracle Morning, just comment below and put Miracle Morning there. I would love to talk about it, because it's my favorite. But those are some ways that I really started, so I took my affirmations to another level. I recorded them so I could listen to them if I was in the shower or in the car driving or trying to go to sleep at night or waking up first thing in the morning. And then we got to talk about the oils.
Yes.
Okay. So Amy and I have a list of oils for you. Do you want me just to kind of start with the ones, because I know you have some and I have some. So do you want me to kind of talk about the ones I have first, and then you talk about the ones that
Yes. And first, I just want to say, yes, Jennifer, there was a noticeable difference in you when you started the Miracle Morning, not only in your countenance, but also just in how you spoke. About yourself and about others. And you also, I love the fact that you didn't keep it to yourself. You saw that as an opportunity to start spreading that passion to other people. And so, yes, I would second all of what you said. And also about the affirmations, I'm gonna post some sample affirmations, my own personal affirmations. And then Jennifer, would you mind just posting just a few, like a sampling? Because you know what? Affirmations they're not voodoo, you guys. It's not hocus pocus. All it is positive truths about you. And I like to personally start out with, if you don't know where to start, is to start with truths from the Bible. If you don't know where to start, take Bible verses of what God says about you and change them to work for you personally. And so affirmations are really kind of a personal thing. So what's a great affirmation for me may be something totally different for Jennifer and the next person. But we'll just give you a sampling of you guys to kind of give you some inspiration to get some starting, because I don't know about you, Jennifer, but my affirmation list has started with maybe 3 or 4, and then has like exploded, right? Yes. And they even change too as your needs change, right? Yes. So take what we share. We're going to share some in the comments after it's over, and feel free to steal one of ours if it really resonates with you. But let's dive into the oils that can be really helpful for this negative tape stuff. What did you say you have? You have what?
I have, okay, so number 1 on my list is Melaleuca. Yes. And the reason that Melaleuca is number 1 on my list is because it helps to get rid of negative energy that we are housing, just the things that make us not feel great. And what I have noticed is that when I put this, and I will take it, and if you have it in a touch, if it's already diluted in a roller, you can use that. I just use it not diluted, but not everybody can do that. So dilute if you need to. Okay. So what I do is I just put a drop or two in my hand and I go up and down my spine, literally as much of it as I can reach. So I'll go up here first, and then I'll go do the back of my spine. Okay. And then what I've noticed is that when I do that and I take a couple of deep breaths afterwards, I literally just feel lighter, like immediately, because it is helping to get rid of just the funk that is hanging around me. Okay.
I love that.
So that would be number one on my list. Okay. So next, I'm going to do frankincense. Bill, it's your favorite frankincense. So frankincense is one of my favorites too. And the reason why is because not only does it do all this really great stuff for us physically, right? It helps with the appearance of our skin. It can help when we have inflammation in the body, but it is the oil of truth, God's truth. Okay. So when you have times that you are doubting yourself, you literally can just open the bottle like this and sit there and breathe in deep. And what happens over time, I had a really powerful experience with this one night where I was believing something about myself that was my truth. And it was immediately replaced with what God's truth was. And God was like, no, actually, Jennifer, you are more than capable of doing this thing that you don't think that you can. And I need for you to go do it now. So that is frankincense. And then I've got wild orange.
Yes.
And I keep saying they're all my favorite oil, but really legitimately, this one is my favorite strictly for it's the oil of abundance. Okay. So when we talk about, like Amy said, this is not hocus pocus stuff, right? Like at first I wasn't sure how I felt about this. Being a Christian, I was like, okay, is it okay for me to do some of these things and talk about energy and this, that, and the other? It is a fact that when we are in despair, dismay, that is a lower energy vibration in our body. And what happens is people are attracted to other people and want to be around other people because of their energy level. Okay. So when you're operating in that lower energy level, you're coming from a place of lack, of desperation. And that's not how we want to present ourselves. So wild orange combined with the melaleuca, like I do melaleuca first and then I do this one, this just really opens me up to, okay, what's possible for me? What is it that God has for me? And it allows me to be able to sit there with that and not feel overwhelmed by it because it's the oil of abundance. You have anything you would add to that, Amy?
No, I love that. Yeah, it's, it's kind of like that. Whenever you've been in now women are typically better at noticing this than men are as a general rule, but not always. Mm-hmm. When you've walked into a room and you have energy from people, right? Yep. We've all experienced someone walking to the room and they liven up the entire room. Yes. Mm-hmm. We've also had experiences where someone walks into the room and the whole room is like silent and you can cut the tension with a knife, right? Maybe it's a family situation. Maybe it's a holiday where you've had a scenario. That's the energy. That's the vibe. We can get that from other people. And that's exactly what Jennifer's talking about. So it's not hocus pocus. In fact, you can read more science. If you're a sciencey type person where you're like, prove it to me, read this book. Okay. There's a lot of research behind all this stuff.
For the book.
Yeah. So if you're like me, where I'm like, prove it to me, then check that book out. But absolutely. And I've got a couple of other oils that are really helpful for this. If you love tree oils, like my husband does, and if you've got any of the fur oils, so white fir, if you have that, again, this is not one that you can buy, Douglas fir, or if you have Siberian fir, all of these are so helpful with like that generational root we were talking about. And each one has kind of some different components. But if you recognize that, hey, this is something that has stemmed from my family, maybe you have similar to what I've dealt with, with family passing down these negative words, maybe you had a parent who told you that you're stupid. or had a parent that told you you're not worth anything. The fact of the matter is that you are worthy because God says you are. And so these are the kinds of oils that you want to pick up and use and diffuse. You could make a roller bottle, find one that resonates best with you, or use all of them. These all go really great with the wild orange. So
any of the citruses, lemon too.
Yes, lemon. Yes.
Douglas fir and lemon is one of my favorites, and that was like my last little thing, because what that does for you, and it's going to sound really funny, but you can apply it. You can have a drop of each one in your hand and then apply it to the top of your head. Okay. And what that does is open you up to, okay, here's the possibilities for me in my future. Here are the things that I should be dreaming about. Here are the things that I should be taking action on today if I want to get to this result down the road.
So last but not least, the other oil that I want to talk to you guys about is petitgrain. This may be one that you're kind of like, what? I actually just discovered this one today. So maybe this is a sleeper oil for you, petitgrain. But in my book, my Emotions and Essential Oils book, this oil is all about breaking the chains. Anybody feel like I need to break some chains in my family's history that repeats over and over? Yes. This is an oil of ancestry. So it allows you to have an appreciation of your ancestors and the generations that have gone before you, but to also break the chains that need to be broken. And interestingly enough, the companion oils that go really well with petitgrain are white fir, Douglas fir, Siberian fir, bergamot even, so your citrus oils as well. So if you really feel like the family stuff is weighing you down, and this is stemming is a lot of the roots of where this negative tape is coming from, start with some of these oils to help with that as well, as you're doing some of the other things too. So don't feel like you have to just do the oils or just do affirmations or just do the miracle morning. You can begin to incorporate all of these a little bit at a time.
Yeah, the important thing is to start with something. Whatever resonated the most with you tonight, start with that.
Hey, and if you're like me, if you're a learner at heart and sometimes you get stuck at starting, I love that you brought that up, Jennifer. Anybody else? Because I get stuck sometimes at the starting part because I think I can learn more.
I can start. I just can't keep going, but I can start all day long.
So you need the one that continues, sustains you. I need sometimes the one to just start. So if you need that, grab your ginger. Your ginger, and that will help you get going. Okay.
Yes.
At least get started. And then once you've got your ginger and you're going, grab your other oils that we just talked about. So now I think that's all we have for tonight. We've gone over again. I'm sorry, you guys. You have any questions?
Such good topics. We can't do it in 30 minutes.
I know. Jennifer, you mind checking the comments to see if we have any other questions or anything right now? And then I'm going to tell you guys about we are facilitating a 30-day focus group / study that launches Monday, September 24th. So that's just in a little over 1 week from now. Now, it's not being launched by doTERRA. This is something that we're doing on our own based on some of our own research studies, our observations, reports from our own oil community and some other communities within doTERRA. And this is a study with DDR Prime blend. If you're like, what is DDR Prime? I'm actually going to put a video in the comments where you can go and learn more about what DDR Prime is. Start the video at like 40 minutes, I think, and you'll hear us talking about DDR Prime. But check that out because we're going to be doing a 30-day, just kind of an observational study. And you'll see this is for those who have special needs, special challenges, or anyone in our oily community. You don't even have to be using oils to participate. But in order to participate, you do need the DDR Prime blend. And you can either use a roller bottle for that, or you can do drops and take it internally. But we're going to be doing that for 30 days with discipline every day, and start noting our observations. And the groups who have done this in the past have seen some amazing results from kids being nonverbal to becoming verbal, to people having sleep patterns change, digestive systems working better. And so we're excited to see what is to come with that. Now, if you are new to oils or new to doTERRA, comment below with newbie, and we'll be sure to reach out to you, help you either get started with the DDR Prime study, or we can set up a quick appointment with you and find out your specific needs and concerns, and then share a little bit about doTERRA. And then if you decide it's a right fit for you, we can help you get started. So
okay, we've got
yes,
we have a hot
topic. Yes.
we do. Okay, Bill wants to know if you have allergies to furs, can you use oils?
It depends. That's a good question, though. It depends. We know people in our oily community, as I like to call it, people who use oils that have seen that they have allergies to anything from lavender to cinnamon to rosemary. And some of them stay away from those oils. Some of them have found that they have no problem with those oils because maybe it comes from a different part of the plant. Or sometimes it's because they are actually allergic to the synthetic part, the synthetic oil or the synthetic version of that plant. And so it depends. I mean, what would you say about that, Jennifer?
Well, I would say, so Jacob has some allergies to many different things. One of the things that he struggles with are furs, different types of furs. He has been able to use those oils diluted just fine. So I would say if you are going to try it, I would make sure that it's well diluted. And then if it looks like it's causing any kind of skin reaction or anything like that, you can take your fractionated coconut oil and just put more of it on, and that should be okay. But if you want to check with the doctor first and just say, hey, look, here's the deal. This is a Siberian fir oil. It is extracted from Siberian fir trees. There is nothing else in it besides oil from a tree. Could I use this, or would this cause issues for me? It's always a good idea to go back and check with the doctor. Yeah. Just sure. They may ask you for some information on that. And so here's a neat trick to know, is that if you go out and you search doTERRA Siberian fir product information page, you can get some information on it, tells where it's distilled, all that good stuff, where they get it from. Hey, look, Jenna's on. Hey, Jenna. So you can go out and get that information and share that with the doctor if they want to take a look at that. Or if you have any other questions, just go back to the person that enrolled you and they'll be able to help you as well.
Yes. And I love that. And you can, if you have skin sensitivities or any kind, or you have questions, you can always do like a patch test on your arm as well. You know, if your doctor says, you know, maybe you might just try it. You could always do a 24 or 48 hour patch test on your arm to be sure. You know, the oils are safe and effective, but we also want to use them with common sense too.
Yes.
So, so thank you for sharing your experiences too with that, Jennifer. So, so next week, do we have any other questions?
Nope, I think that was it. Okay. I'm going to double check real quick while you're talking about next week.
Okay, so this coming week is doTERRA's global convention, you guys. So new announcements on a whole new category of oils being sourced and released, 5 new single oils being sourced and released, groundbreaking research to be shared from up and coming, continued research hospitals and universities. You guys know we have over hundreds of partnerships with research hospitals and universities. We're going to be finding out more about the healthcare clinics that are opening across the country. And so next week's hot topic will be just after doTERRA's convention is ending. So we're going to be talking about how to give your second brain some love, some gut love. That is a specific topic that you guys have been requesting. So we're going to be talking about the second brain, the gut, how to give that gut some love. And we are going to be celebrating 10 years of doTERRA. 10 years, you guys. So we're going to be doing those things, covering those two. Don't forget, if you just joined us at the end, don't forget to go back to the beginning, because we shared a really cool website with you guys that's going to help you with this negative tape rolling around in your head to be no more. And we're looking forward to joining you guys again next week. Jennifer and I will see you soon.
I'm so excited. I can't wait. I'm glad you guys were here. Hope you loved it. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.